to infinity and beyond.
What's up, everybody? Roger and James here from DisKingdom.com. In this episode, we're going to be continuing our road to Marvel Vs Capcom Infinite, and we're going to be looking here at Bionic Commando, which obviously brings in one of the characters into the main game. We've kind of got this like mechanical arm. So we're going to be looking here, just kind of giving a little bit of information, and you're going to see some gameplay if you are watching this on YouTube or Twitch. But first off, I just want to kind of jump in on this one and just say, this is one of the Capcom games I actually knew the most, because when I was a wee lad, we were out in Spain, and my dad brought a little cartridge with like 50 Game Boy games and a little button to press on the side. Obviously, as a kid, didn't realize this was like, wow, your dad just brought you 50 games. He never buys you anything, but there we go. It was like, so I had so many games. Many of them were in Japanese. And I actually had Bionic Commando as one of these games on there. So I actually did spend a large amount of time playing this game on the Game Boy version. So this was way back in the early 90s. So I always remember it being that, side-scrolling game of fighting and shooting and kind of using that, using his... And I don't even necessarily know if I knew it as Bionic Commando, because I think I even used to play it in Japanese. It was one of those games it didn't matter about. I even used to play Pokemon Yellow or the original Pokemon game in Japanese. Didn't have a clue what was going on, but I just used to grow up playing a lot of games like that. So you knew how to play. So for me, this is a kind of a game I've got a history with. I knew, instantly I know who the character is. Obviously, they've changed his look over the year. They've upgraded him. Recently, I did play the Bionic Commando Rearmed version, which you will see some gameplay footage of playing here, which is like a modern-day remake, which I think actually was quite fun. I did get a little bit frustrated because I was trying to learn the controls a little bit and kind of getting stuck in the same place. But once I got into the swing of it, I was finding it to be a lot of fun. Obviously, they've done some different ones, but... yeah, this one's pretty cool. Have you got any history with this series?
Not really. I didn't grow up playing Bionic Commando, but I did play Rearmed back when it first came out in 2008. And then I also played I don't know what you would call it, but the more Gears of War style game that came out a year or two later. So I have a little bit of a history with it. Not an incredible amount. It was never a game that really my group of friends played, so it wasn't in my playset. But I had fun with it in when Rearmed came out. I had fun again playing it these past week and a half or so. Definitely out of the Capcom games we've talked about, it's one of the ones I've enjoyed the most, and also I feel like the character fits into the Marvel vs. Capcom roster better than some of the other ones that we talked about. But that's, again, coming from like the Marvel side, and this guy fits in as kind of a superhero rather than as the Chris Redfield or Frank West characters that we've been talking about in the past. Or I just want to punt Arthur off a cliff.
Yeah, it's like you say. He's almost like it's almost like the Winter Soldier in some ways. Look at the way he looks as well.
He's kind of got that Winter Soldier with a Spider-Man attachment.
Yeah. So no, I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was really worked well, and like I said, he makes sense within that Marvel vs. Capcom. I mean, the whole thing makes absolutely no sense at all. But if you slid him into a comic book, he would be a superhero or even a cool villain. But that kind of it seems to work. Obviously, we know that like with these like Capcom games, Marvel vs. Capcom does bring in people from different, you get the Capcom fans being brought in, the Street Fighter fans, the Marvel fans. And so from our point of view, like not knowing a lot of these characters, this was like one of the few ones that was very much like, okay, that's cool, that's fine. Definitely a cool character to me.
Yeah, I'm out of all the Capcom characters, he's probably the one that I'm most like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm glad with this guy being in the roster. And
kind of also slides. I was just going to add. Kind of also for me as well. Strider, which we're going to be talking about in another episode.
Right.
He kind of fits that mold as well very much. But yeah, so I do definitely think this game is definitely worth checking out because it's while it's especially like the rearmed version, because I'd missed this. I had no idea this even existed. So when I was playing it through the other night, I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm liking this, because I hadn't touched a Bionic Commando since I was a kid on the Game Boy. I didn't even know that it'd been like rebooted or anything. This was just like, oh, cool. And yeah, definitely a cool, a very good system. Because originally I think it was out on the NES as well.
Right, it was. That's where most people are going to know it from, or the original Nintendo system.
Yeah. It's not. I don't. Yeah, it's definitely not included in the new SNES Classic or Super NES or Super Nintendo, whichever way you want to pronounce it. But no, definitely a cool little a cool game. Like I said, it's also it's out on the Xbox Game Pass. It's out on PlayStation Plus. So there's actually this one's quite an easy game to kind of jump in on. And actually, to be honest, if you're trying to work out what the Capcom games were, those systems were actually very good, because they had pretty much all the Capcom games on there to play out, which is what I've been using.
Yeah, and I didn't see if they also had Bionic Commando Rearmed 2, which was a completely new game, but that should tell people, that Rearmed, the remake of the original, or the remake of, I guess it's actually the second game in the series, was good enough that people felt there was a need for a sequel, and the sequel was pretty solid too. These aren't games that are like going to blow you away and make you like, oh, these are instant classics, but they're solid, fun games. I have no problem.
The only difference is the look of the character changes quite a bit between, because he looks more like he's part of he's an army ranger in Rearm. He's kind of got short hair and he's got this jacket on, whereas like you said, the other kind of game, and in Marvel vs. Capcom, he looks more like the Winter Soldier. There's that kind of difference.
Right, yeah, they're definitely using the design from the 2009 third-person game rather than from his traditional or rearmed look, which, I mean, is fair. I'm going to use air quotes on this. It's the more realistic version of the arm, because you got the wires coming out. You've got, the pumps that show where the air pressure is coming from and all that. But honestly, with a character like this, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Still, it's a cool design. It's simple, straightforward. You could mistake him for a street-level superhero.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. So if you want to check it out, definitely want to play that one. But yeah, definitely recommend trying this one out. This character is definitely pretty cool, and a character that we're going to be seeing a little bit more in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which is actually literally, as of this recording, it's only out next week. We're getting pretty close to actually hitting soon. So on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to let us know in the comments below. Be sure to check us out over at DisKingdom.com. You can also join our DisKingdom Gaming Facebook group. And James, where can they find you?
Find me heroiclegacy.com.
And on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you guys soon. Later.